Some of you who are watching my vlogs possibly were born and grew up in a different country than the one that you live in now. Would it be fair for me to guess that you might be sometimes missing the places of your childhood? I am Catalina George, Romanian writer and journalist in the UK. And today is the last day of my visit at my parents', March 2019. In all the 8 years since I have relocated to the UK, this feels like the most meaningful trip on a personal level. And I would like to share with you why. This room where I'm recording this vlog from, because I have a very good light, both the ceiling light and the windows as well, is my parents' bedroom. The house has been inherited from one generation to the other because before it was my Nana's house, it was her father's house as well. And 3 years ago, when my father got pensioned, they all moved over here. They redid the decoration, they replastered the walls and repainted them, and it looks quite different from the days when my Nana used to live here. Also, the whole family shares this house. My father, my mother, my brother, his son, our 2 foster brothers, and my other Nana, my mother's mom. She used to live here with the family until she passed away last summer. This is quite usual for families in Romania to still share a bigger house for the whole family. Partly is due to economic reasons, because people do not necessarily afford to buy a new house or a new flat, and rents are quite expensive as well for what people here in Romania can earn on a regular job. But also it's usual because of social and cultural reasons. People like to stick together as families. Family ties are very strong, and that is why you will find a lot of nanas still living at home with everybody, instead of just being alone on their own in a flat or in a small house. As I've already mentioned, the whole family moved here when my father retired. He served as a parish priest in a nearby village for almost 4 decades. There in the parish house, both my brother and I grew up. All our childhood happened there, all of the mischief, all of the good memories, all of the times when I wasn't doing so well with my asthma. Then I got better and got to spend weekends and summer big holidays back there, all the holidays back there again. And when my father was about to move out of the parish house, I visited 3 years ago in March as well. They moved out in August, and the thought that everything will just go away to Nana's house now triggered me to record a video then. That was the actual seed that later on just motivated me to start vlogging. As you might know, my vlogs are a way for me to talk about my culture, about my heritage, about places that I visit, which are all across Europe and the UK and Romania, and to give that experience of mine to other people as a gift, so that maybe it makes them curious to explore more, to learn more, and to understand and to accept other cultures better. Maybe that can be the foundation for us humans accepting each other and trying to understand each other a little bit more. I started this vlog by telling you that this trip has been the most meaningful in 8 years since I've been living in the UK. But why that? Why now, after 8 years, I'm just traveling back home to visit my parents and everything feels so full of meaning, so deep, so important? Surely it can't be only the fact that I haven't been able to visit for 2.5 years because I had to finish my MA degree, and that was quite a challenge, both financially and in terms of the effort that I have put in it. Surely it can't be just that. No, it isn't just that. It's linked to the fact that 3 years ago, when my father retired and they all had to move here in Nana's house in a town that I visited regularly, but it wasn't where I grew up, maybe my heart was a little bit just cringing at the thought that I would lose the grounds where we played as children, the places where we made all our memories, all of our encapsulated childhood in communist times where things were a lot worse than we understood back then. But now coming back in this house, surrounded by objects of meaning, objects full of memories themselves, from the books that I used to read to little decor, little things that I bought throughout my university years and then as a teacher in Timișoara, it just feels like home again. Home is not linked to a certain building, is not linked to a certain village, even though, yes, you will always have the nostalgia maybe of that garden where you used to play and climb trees when you were a child. Home is linked to the people you love, to little details from the outside world which you feel connected to, which can trigger sweet memories and which just remind you where you came from, how you grew up, how you formed as a human being. And you certainly notice that I am surrounded by teddy bears here, and also we have the Romanian flag as well. I must confess that my father is a big lover of toys, especially vintage ones and teddy bears. He has such a soft heart, and he has a really beautiful child there deep inside his heart, just like I do. I love teddy bears as well. Also, the house is full of Christian icons of all traditions, from Catholic to Orthodox Russian or Greek, and pictures of me from different ages, like these two here, that are framed. One with long hair from just before I went to the US, 2003, as an au pair there for 1 year, and the one next to it from my years in the university in Timișoara as a student of theology. Right behind them, there's a book that I used to study for my theology. Look, my two beautiful books from my childhood with some very, very good storytelling in them. I'm so torn because they have all the beautiful illustration and I remember the storylines in both of them. This one was about a young prince that was kept isolated from the world, and in the end he just asked for a doll in human size because he couldn't have any friends. And this one is about some little people who each of them had a skill, except for this little guy who was called I don't know, because he would say to everything I don't know. Books. Books everywhere. And a fat sheep. And more books and toys and trinkets. And there's me in high school. Me as a child. And my father as a young priest. You'll have to excuse the echo on this corridor. Sorry, but I want to show you this stitched picture. It's one of my earliest memories of me and my parents together. I couldn't have been more than 3 years old, and they were sitting at the table in the kitchen dining room in the parish house, stitching this together. For many, many years it was never finished, but now I can see they finally managed to put it all together, and it's framed here in the house. And here in the hallway by the main entrance door is Donna, my brother's dog. In this trip I've also feasted on all of my favorite foods here back home, and these are very well known in the whole region. They are called plum dumplings. And the dumpling itself is made of potato. The Hungarians call it gombots. Also the Germans cook these as well, but I don't know what the Germans call them. I can't wait to just stick my fork into it. And yeah, I'll see you later then. It's the first time that I managed to come and see my Nana's grave. She passed away last year in summer, and I just couldn't afford to travel then because I was just finishing my master's degree and everything, plus she was buried 2 days after she died. It's very difficult for me to just realize that she's passed away because I haven't seen her for 2 years, and
she's the one that I grew up with. Now, I don't want to sadden you with my sad stories, and I am a little bit tearful now, but I want to tell you one of my regrets during recent years is that I never put into practice my intention to write letters to Nana. Yeah, she didn't use a smartphone, and we all got so complacent and lazy nowadays. If it's not on a smartphone, we don't do it. And you know, life gets busy, but if there's one lesson that I took out of that is, please remember, just like I'm telling myself now, remember things and people that are meaningful for you, because without them life is just passing by, just so it, you know, it happens. But it's people and things that are meaningful to us that make life worth living. And that's what I'm taking with me from my beloved Nana.